So I'm moving where the podcast is being broadcast from. Let's talk about it. Anyway, welcome into today's episode of Artemis Anarchy, episode 49, before the 50 episode milestone, which is almost a year, guys. So just saying, we might have something special planned for the year's worth of podcasts. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, make sure to like it, and make sure to, do all that other shit on YouTube. Anyway, today we're talking about obviously me moving the podcast somewhere and my streaming entirely, to be honest. We're also going to reveal who the mystery guest is. We're also going to talk about some audio stuff because, well, we've been talking about audio stuff on stream recently, literally like 20 minutes ago. So anyway, we're going to talk about a little bit about that and a little bit about another few parts of content that I'm wanting to focus on, maybe for at least weekly videos, not everyday videos, but like weekly at least. And yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. So let's first talk about me moving my whole streaming, where I stream from, where I do the podcast from, where I do everything, right? So obviously, I'm not moving house or anything before you think that's where I'm moving the podcast to. Or I've not got a studio or something. I'm not that rich. Come on, guys. But anyway, we are moving the podcast over to YouTube from now on, live. So what we're going to do, not yet. Yeah, Jedi's right, not yet. But what we're going to be doing is, obviously, because we're live streaming the podcast over on YouTube, you guys will maybe get a bit quicker access towards it, or I'm going to try and keep it on the same kind of pace where I do the podcast, go and edit it, and then upload it 2 days later, which today I'm recording it on a Friday instead of a Wednesday like I usually do. But so we're going to see how this goes. We're going to see how the editing process goes with this and stuff like that. Excuse me. So what I'm thinking is that if we're moving it to a Friday and we're doing it on YouTube, it's going to be a lot easier. It's going to be a lot more fluid. It's going to be a lot more, a lot easier to do other things with. So another thing, I may make the recording of the podcast at least. It may eventually become a subscriber kind of only kind of thing, like. Or not subscriber, because that's going to confuse people. So like not members, because obviously I don't have access to that monetization yet, but subscribers on Coffee or Patreon or whatever. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the link to that live stream in the Discord and stuff into a subscriber, member, whatever only chat. And basically anyone who's subbed through Coffee or whatever, I can just manually add them, which is probably the way I'll do it because I don't care about it being automated, and it's a lot harder to automate from a different site than YouTube or Twitch. But again, that's a bit on in the future, so don't worry, you guys will still be able to watch them live. It's just an added perk that I may add, I may not. I've not fully decided on it yet, I will be honest. So again, leave your comments on it down below. And yeah, just let me know what you guys think. And give me some other ideas for exclusive perks for Coffee subscribers and Patreon subscribers. If I am going down the Patreon route, I don't know yet. Again, Coffee is more solid for me. So again, I'll probably link that down below somewhere, just so if anyone who does want to support me can support me, do it whenever. But anyway, moving on. So obviously I'm moving the podcast next week. So today is the last Twitch streamed podcast of the whole time, unless I need to move back to Twitch for some unknown reason. Foreshadowing maybe. Nah, not really. But like, I'm just wanting to be clear with you guys that this is today's podcast that we're recording just now. Slash streaming just now, obviously, because at the time it's streaming for me, but for you guys it's been recorded and It was recorded like 2 or 3 days ago, so yeah. Anyway, moving on from that, basically what I'm wanting to do with this is make it accessible to the people who are, available to watch the streaming stuff, and I also want people who aren't available to watch the stream to be able to have it on demand and stuff, and not just a stream. That's why I started recording the podcast originally anyway, especially my live casts, streamcasts, whatever you want to call them. But obviously I wanted to make it more of a podcasting, right? So the other thing I do want to add to this is I may try and get it to go on somewhere like Spotify or any other like audio platform as well, and I might just bulk upload the last like year and a half, whenever I do it, worth of content, worth of podcast. I'll just bulk upload it all at once, and then it will get released weekly after that. So again, leave your thoughts below in the comments and stuff. But yeah, like, again, I don't know what I'm doing with it yet, I will be honest. We're just taking it one piece at a time. I'm also adding other things to other parts of the content that I'm not more focused on, like my normal gaming videos, my streaming Saturday videos, which are a new thing where I just go through tips, tricks, all that stuff to do with OBS, to do with, equalizing that I've learned. Like, obviously I am no professional in any of these fields, but I've learned enough to at least tell people the basics. Like, I know a lot of the basics, I know a lot of the more hidden stuff as well, because I've went and looked for it myself, or I've seen videos on it, or I've went and messed about with it, because that's all streaming's about and stuff, or content creation in general is just messing about with stuff until it works, like, that's how you get discovered, that's how everything works. But again, if you put more work in and you put more effort in, the more stuff you're going to get back and stuff like that. And yeah, you get what I mean. So yeah, like, I'm happy to be moving over to YouTube because I've been thinking about it for a long time, and my main worry was, to be honest, monetization for a while. But now at this point, I'm just done giving a shit. Let's be honest, I just don't care anymore about Twitch, really, about, like, Twitch's monetization for me. Again, I'm lucky if I get 2-3 months worth of payment or anything, because it takes me like 2 or 3 months to build up a payment. Even with, like, I know a lot of people, even with the lower threshold payout now, that still need a month or two to actually build up the subscribers and stuff to actually go over the threshold, even at the $50 mark, not the $100 mark. And what also I've seen happening a lot as well is, obviously, Twitch is just announced, obviously, we all know, everyone in the streamerverse knows that Twitch announced they're no longer doing a 70-30 split with partners. So now, basically, partner is worthless, it's useless now, at this point. At this point, it is, for me, for a lot of people, especially if you're trying to go for monetization. Whereas YouTube, it's 70-30 for most of it. I think it's like 50%, 55% ad revenue, no matter what size you are and no matter how many minutes ads you run. So, obviously, the other problem with some people moving is maybe, especially if they rely on that for some sort of income. Now, obviously, if you're going to take a blow no matter what, money-wise, between, like, becoming partner and not becoming partner and all that stuff. Like, if you're already a partner and you've got, like, a full team behind you, you're fucked. You'll basically have to pay them off of ads, is what Twitch has turned around and said. So again, like, people with full production teams, it's okay for me to do stuff like this because I know I can handle it. I know I can jump platform whenever I want because I have the backing to do it. Like, I've not got, rent to pay and stuff like that right now. But again, if I get once I get another job, like obviously I'll have another thing, which is also another thing I want to talk about, but we'll leave that for later on once we've done talking about the podcast and streaming and moving and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm very glad to be moving. I will promise you guys over on YouTube this, and anyone who's followed me from Twitch over to here, I will make sure that I have consistent upload and streaming schedule as much as I can. I can promise you that, no matter what. I know 100% that I'm going to be able to do it, and obviously, since I've said from the beginning, I do want to be a little bit at least monetized from this kind of work and stuff, and from all the, effort and shit that I put into this as well. Like, it's not a massive thing if I don't, but again, it would help, But again, I'm just going with it. I'm growing. I'm making sure that I'm improving my content each day that I record, obviously, because I batch record and stuff like that. So sometimes I won't notice something that I've messed up on or something until I've released a video and I've went and watched it back or something. But yeah, you've just got to keep improving and stuff. But yeah, I'm hoping that this podcast is also going to keep going. It should keep going because we will be having guests on at least every 2 weeks minimum, which I actually need to talk to the next guest about, which I will reveal in the next couple of weeks. But speaking of guests, we're going to announce next week's guest on the podcast, and first ever guest on the podcast, aside from Kibbs, but that was months ago. But first proper guest, if that makes sense, not just someone that, we just kind of spur of the moment thing, an actual planned guest. There we go, that's what I meant. So basically, yeah. Now, a lot of people in the community will know this guest and know how much I blame them for everything. I even have an emote for blaming them for everything. They're also very bad at aiming, but next week's guest is going to be Yippee-Ki-Yay. And anyway, her link will be down below as well for Twitch and YouTube, because that's what I'm going to link the most probably for each guest is their Twitch and YouTube, because you'll find all their other socials probably there, and if not there, probably Twitter, and they'll probably have the same name on Twitter. So yeah, we're gonna have Kai over next week, and again, that's why it's getting recorded on the Saturday. So yeah, hopefully you guys will enjoy that podcast, and obviously because it will be on a different platform, there might be some issues during the podcast, and because I'm using another tool that I'm relatively new to, will also make it a bit of a challenge, but it should be fun. I've actually got at least some questions, because I know what type of podcast I'm going for, and it kind of goes in line with the whole Streaming Saturday thing as well, which also the podcast is technically a secondary version of Streaming Saturdays, except it's on a different day, so it's something else, Tuesdays or whatever. But yeah, but using new things, obviously I can talk about them on Streaming Saturdays. So when I'm using Video Ninja or OBS Ninja or whatever you want to call it, because it's got 1,000 different names, I don't know how to use that. Half of us don't know how to use that, but I can still mess about with it until the podcast, basically, which I probably will do. I'll probably try and get maybe a group together some point through the week to do some, I don't know, Shatterline or Faz or something like that. I don't know. But again, there may be a YouTube video where I've got multicams on, So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to plan some other videos with a group of people and stuff like that we can maybe do weekly. But again, I will be getting Modern Warfare 2, so you might see a few more Modern Warfare 2 videos. Obviously, the beta was kind of annoying me, so that's why it wasn't as long as what I was hoping it would be. But it was still long enough, because I was trying to cut it down to 20 minutes anyway, minimum. So, yeah, so when I did the beta, it was just annoying me, so I was like, you know what, fuck this. Let's just rush it. Let's rush recording. But again, with COD and games like COD, I'm very quiet when I'm focusing. And when I'm playing actually good. But yeah, like, again, it's just part of the learning process. Also, hey Zombie, how you doing? Also, what we're going to be doing as well is I'm going to be doing a streaming Saturday where I show you guys how to do some basic EQ. Obviously, I'm going to use the basic equalizer, which is Reaper plugins, and I will show you guys on OBS how to do all that stuff. But basically, yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm excited for the new YouTube content. I'm excited for the podcast, and yeah. So, speaking of YouTube content, I do want to go in a different, well, not quite a different direction. I'm still going to do my gaming. I'm still going to do my editing tips and tricks and stuff. But I'm wanting to add some variety of content. So, like, obviously, like, my streaming Saturdays are a different type of content. And then I've got gaming videos on, like, say, 1 or 2 days a week. I do eventually want to get up to a point where I'm at, like, doing like 3 or 4 different videos a week, and then everyone has at least some sort of niche in my channel. And if I do those 4 or 5 different types of videos a week, you all have something to watch, right? So, like, I'm gonna hit as many targets as I can with my new content. Also, I will add a note onto this as well. I will be starting a Skyrim playthrough till it's 100% completed, or what the game considers 100%. So basically, every vanilla quest, every side quest and DLC quests, and DLC side quests, obviously. So basically, the whole of Special Edition will be done. Obviously, I'm still going to mod it a little bit here and there. Like, I might try out the whatever it's called. What's it called? What's the mod called? Skyrim Together, where I'll get a couple of people on PC who might want to play some Skyrim together. I guess that's the whole point of the mod, right? But again, we have to wait until the new version of SKSE comes out, because the new update of Special Edition basically rendered 90% of the mods useless now, because a lot of the mods require SKSE. And Skyrim Together, I don't think requires SKSE, but I think it does as well. I think it does because of the whole, like, doing wireless and stuff like that. And obviously we're going to mess around with Skyrim Together as well, and also that will be part of the playthrough. Also, again, if you guys sound interested in this, again, leave it down in the comments below. I may do some smaller lore videos about very, very niche kind of lore aspects of Skyrim and Elder Scrolls in general. Not just like where the Dwemer have gone, or like the really lesser known and deeper parts of the Skyrim lore iceberg, if it were, you know, like really deep parts. And yeah, and it's a different type of video I can edit as well, which actually, speaking of editing, starting it on November 1st, I will be available to hire for freelance editing. I am going freelance editing November 1st. I will obviously do a big announcement on it as well. So I'll do a proper like video and stuff on it. and obviously I'll give you at least an overview of what my rates will be for a start. And again, obviously, we do have to like think how I'm going to actually do this and stuff within my content making schedule as well. But again, if I get enough people interested in hiring me for making videos and stuff, Jesus Christ. But obviously, if I've got enough people interested in me editing videos for them, I can also make my own YouTube content. And if I don't have, if I do have enough people who want me consistently to edit for them, and I get a decent bit of money each week, each month, enough to survive off of basically, or live off of, maybe I'll quit my job and maybe I'll have even more time to edit for other people and myself. But again, obviously I'll probably take weekends for myself because I know what videos I do. Because that's usually my recording and editing days is the weekends. But again, I can move that around. I'm flexible. But again, I will get more into that the closer to the time. So probably about this time next month, I will probably do a full video on what sort of services I will offer. I'll also offer overlay design as well. I'm not going to offer animated overlay design yet because I need to again figure out what my style of design is, because I'm away to do a new transition as well for videos like the podcast. And well, I'm actually going to do 2 versions of Stinger transitions, one for my streaming Saturdays in general videos, like gaming and stuff, and then one for the podcast, which I think you guys will like once we get it. But yeah, it's going to be probably in the same color scheme as the stream, obviously, so purples, blues, blacks, stuff like that. Maybe a bit grey, maybe a bit red, and I don't know yet. I'll be 100% honest. It's up in the air, but again, I'll show you guys that when I get around to actually making that, because it's going to take a few weeks to make, especially with the detail that I want to put into it. But another part of that is I will be calling out a few people if I think my Stinger transition's good enough, and yeah, that's going to be fun, and it might be a bit of a laugh between a lot of creators. But yeah, so yeah, I'm hoping to get a lot of that stuff done very soon, like getting stuff set up and all that for obviously the editing and stuff, for freelance editing. I think I'll be offering it through Coffee just now. I'm not doing Fiverr or anything. Or DMs on Discord, you can also do it there. Or Twitter. And what I'm also going to do is preface it saying, I don't know what I'm going to say. I completely blank, so never mind. Obviously I'll figure that out by the video. Also, I was going to say if you're watching this on YouTube, but if you're watching this on Twitch, there's my YouTube, by the way, guys. Go click on the link, go subscribe, because that's where I'm moving over to streams. And for guys on YouTube, subscribe, hit that fucking bell button and shit. You know the YouTube stuff by now, yeah? You've heard every other YouTuber say it. I'm pretty sure I don't have to say it, but I gotta say it so it gives you some engagement. But yeah, any engagement helps. Likes, comments, subscriptions, whatever. But yeah, just interact with the video. Push me out into the algorithm. Make the algorithm my bitch for me, because I'm not making a million YouTube accounts to do it myself. Anyway, because that's totally not a trick that YouTubers use at the start. Not at all. No. Anyway, but yeah, like, I just want to get a lot of content done by the end of this year. And next year, you guys are going to enjoy next year. Trust me. Especially when it gets gets a lot more sunnier, more consistently again. Like, obviously, I might give the odd video here and there, but we'll see. Also, actually, speaking of next year, if everything goes according to plan, which it should, because I'm starting to save up for after Christmas. I will be going to MCM Comic Con in London in May, and if I don't get it in May, I'll go in October, but we'll see. I should be going in May though. May should be, but I'm just saying, if not May, guaranteed October, 100%. So, again, I will have a few cosplays planned. We will do a few videos there and stuff. And yeah, maybe I'll try my hand at photography before then, and maybe we can do a bit of photography there as well. But yeah, so that's kind of my plan for this year, at least some of it, traveling wise, because I may have a few other ideas for traveling. And because I'm 21 in December, I still get free bus travel all over Scotland until I'm 22. I thought it was 21. So yeah, so we'll be getting maybe a few extra bits of content here and there, maybe some more vlog content if I feel like it. But yeah, should be fun. You guys are going to enjoy next year's content, trust me. Like, 2023 is going to be the year that I fucking blow up. I promise you that. I'm gonna make sure, you know, if not for my great gaming content, at least my streaming content or something. I don't know what that content's going to be that makes me blow up yet, but we're going to figure it out as we go along. But also another thing that I will be adding to the content chain of next year, maybe starting this year, depends if it snows, because I have a very interesting skating video planned for this year if it does snow and if it is very icy. And you guys are going to love that video. But I may have to do it at nighttime, so you might not get as good video quality. We'll see. But yeah, there is a plan. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I think you guys will really enjoy that video if I can do it. And if I can't, we'll find some other way to do it. So yeah, so there should be skate content coming at some point, either end of this year, if it's, again, icy like I said. There might be a little bit here and there this year, depending if weather gets better again in a week or two, maybe in a couple of days, if we're lucky. I doubt it though, but if we're lucky, we'll maybe get away with it, and we'll try and do some skate content. And if I can't do some skate content, we may do session skate sim as well, which actually I will be doing a video on this week, because last week or the week before they released their full release, so full 1.0. So yeah, we'll be having a look at the new map of San Francisco. I think it's San Francisco the new map is in Session Skate Sim. So we'll be playing that this week at some point. We'll also be doing Saints Row 2, and we'll also be doing Saints Row if I can get it working again. Because I know I've missed a couple of weeks on the Saints Row reboot. I've been trying to get it to work. I've been waiting on an update. It updated the other day, so I'm hoping it works now. I'm going to test it right after I finish doing everything on the podcast. And thanks for the hydrate, Snoop. And hopefully we can get some very good content coming soon. Not like my content right now is shit, but it can always be better. We can always improve, you know. So yeah, I can't wait for this next year of making content, because I have some ideas. Also, actually, just a little extra note before we end. Obviously, I will be doing a Halloween stream over on YouTube this year, because we'll be moved over there by then fully, completely, to be honest. But the other thing is, I will be doing a Halloween stream, and we'll be doing a few different spooky games during October anyway, like probably Resident Evil 7 again, because I did like playing that the last time that I played it, so I might play it on a harder difficulty or something. We'll also play Resident Evil 4 most likely. We'll maybe actually do Amnesia Rebirth. And there's a series that I was supposed to do about the start of this year, but I've intentionally left it for October. And yeah, you guys are going to love those videos because they are videos, they're not going to be streams. But you guys are going to love those. So yeah, I've been saving a few horror games that I have downloaded and installed back so that I can play them all on in October, so that we have a lot of more other scary content for October, you know, Halloween-esque content. I'll give this one away, I'm not 100% guaranteeing this because I'm waiting to see what finances are like, but we may get Mortuary's Assistant as well. And because that is a very interesting game to me, I've just not downloaded it or bought it to play it. So we will be doing that as well. And yeah, hopefully there's a lot of other things that I can come up with. I've got a few ideas that I can come up with. I'm going to mess around with audio in the next few weeks to see if I can get a bit more spookier sounds, and I'm going to mess with some camera effects as well. And again, like I said, some audio stuff like deeper voices, scarier voices, maybe broken up voices and stuff like that. So yeah, we're going to do a full almost Antisepticeye type of vibe to it, you know? Or, well, I guess anti-Artemis vibe to it, you know? So yeah, keep an eye out for that, because I'm not going to tell you guys when that's happening. I'm just going to do it, and you guys are just not going to be able to, like, there'll be little hints in some videos and there'll be little hints in other videos, and yeah, I'm not going to tell you guys when or if it's happening, because I may leave it till December. I may leave it to when you're not expecting it to happen. Like, because maybe you're expecting it too much in October. I might move it to November. I might move it to December. I might move it to right fucking now. But, yeah, you never know. You never know. You'll have to, I guess, just subscribe and wait and see where all the spookier lead-ups to the final video of Anti-Artemis comes out. So you'll just have to wait, I guess, and I guess you guys have just got to subscribe and like the videos and stuff. You know, the more likes, the more likely Anti-Artemis is going to come around and stuff. Like, you know, just saying. But anyway, all jokes aside, the audio aspect of it is what I'm looking really forward to messing about with. And actually, while we're on the topic of audio, let's actually give you guys some audio tips for mics specifically. I'm going to do mics specifically because I'm going to do a full video in a couple of weeks. I'm going to plan it out a little bit recording wise this week, but I'm going to plan out some things for it this week, but I'm going to go more in depth obviously on that video, so again, subscribe if you want. But what I'm going to tell you guys today is a little bit more bare bones kind of equalizing and stuff like that. So right, so let's start with equalizing, right? So you get your equalizing graph. I'm obviously not going to show one, but say you're on Reaper plugins, because that's the most common one. So obviously if you don't have equalizer APO, which basically goes ahead of your PC capturing audio and it equalizes your mic for everything and makes everything a lot more simpler. You don't have to add extra effects in OBS, you don't have to add extra effects anywhere else. But here's where we get a bit complicated. So if you've got like a line about, say it's about this size, right? and you've got 4 bands. And 4 bands, when you're looking on the Reaper plugin software, or most softwares, is a little dot about that size. It's a little black dot, green dot, whatever dot you want to do. Now, you get different types of bands. So you can get a high pass, which basically looks like... No, that's... Okay, so that's a low pass. So the low pass basically comes out like that for you guys, I think. And then high pass is basically the other way, right? So, or it's the other way around. I can't remember. I'm going to be 100% honest. I cannot remember for the life of me right now. So, what I'm also going to say is, again, do your high pass, do your low pass, put them both at each side, and then do your EQ there, and the less, stuff you need to cut out, you just move the low pass back and the high pass back, so you just keep spreading them apart until you get the audio that you want. The audio that you think your voice is close to, and then basically just move the bands up and down, the other 3 bands that are up and down. I think they're just called bands, those ones. So you can obviously, if you dip out a bit of or lower the gain of the middle, you're not going to get that like radio voice, if you know what I mean. It's not going to be as muddy, it's not going to be as, high. I wouldn't say high, like, again, your mid-tones. You're going to get a lot more of that boxiness and your muddiness in your voice if you put your gain up for the mid-tones. Obviously, your presence tone is like your high tones and stuff like that, so like the more clarity you want, put that up about 3 decibels, I think, is usually the basic that goes for. And obviously with your cutout of the mid-tones, you do about 3 decibels. Minus 3 decibels, I should say, sorry, of gain on them. And then 3 decibels up on your lows, on your low tones, so like your deeper tones, your a lot more bassy tones, if I should... Is that the right word? Yeah, that's the right word. But yeah, like, I've been messing about with audio for a few weeks now, just to get myself a bit more education on it, because I do find it interesting and I don't find it interesting at the same time. Like, there's a lot of aspects that I do find interesting, and then there's a few that I don't really like too much. But again, most of it is I like it. Same with editing. There's a few things that I don't like with editing. There's a few things I don't like with audio, but that's just basic human nature. The other thing I want to talk about is compression, because I don't think a lot of people understand what compression actually does to your voice. So, or to your mic, I should say. So, if you have a compressor mic, like this mic right here, the HyperX Quadcast, go away now, that is a condenser mic, basically. It compresses stuff, right? So that has a lot more compression than my current dynamic mic. So what compression really does is all your quieter noises, so like whispers and stuff like that, will come up a lot brighter on your condenser mic. With a dynamic mic, it's going to sound a little bit more quiet, like an actual whisper. Or, again, your highs come down, your loud noises come down, and so it, squeezes and compresses and brings everything to an equal level. Basically, that's how compression works. Again, like I said, your quieter noises will come up with compression, and your louder noises will come down with compression. And yeah, again, you've just got to EQ and compress it right, and you'll be fine. Again, just do what works to your voice. Also, I would recommend having a friend check your microphone as well, to tell them like especially if they're familiar with you in real life as well, with your actual voice, they will be a bit more accurate to what you can tell as well. Like I know my voice is pretty close because I've heard it so many fucking times on a mic, on different mics, on good mics, on bad mics, and stuff like that. I've got a decent tell of how well it is, but I still need some people to tell me if it's a bit too high pitched, if it's a bit too low pitched, if it's just about right, and I just need to do minor adjustments. But again, you've just got to keep adjusting and keep messing about with it. That's my basic advice for you. Again, I will be doing a lot more detail and I will be showing more examples when I'm actually doing the video, because I will be planning it out this week. And hopefully I'll get it out in 2 or 3 weeks. So yeah, subscribe for that one. But that is going to be the end of the podcast. I hope you guys did enjoy that. Remember, again, subscribe, check out Creator of the Week, whoever it is this week. I think it's Nerd Titan still. And yeah, check out wherever I put the videos. I can't remember where I put the videos in my end screen. So one will be the most recent video and one will be one that YouTube suggests for you. So anyway, I will see you guys later. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And as always, happy content creating.